Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. There's all one of Scott's selections here for Tuesday, December 27th. Before again today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss in the NBA with the Jazz -5 and -110 on Bet Online. We thought the Jazz would score 120 plus. They did, but they still shot terribly from the floor. Shot about 40% from the floor and 30% from three, and still scored 120. So if they shot even decently, they probably would have finished somewhere around 130 or so. Didn't really matter though. They couldn't get a stop to save their lives, and you saw San Antonio's offense score 126. So either way, I picked up a loss for a bounce back winner here on Tuesday. And for today's play today, going to look ahead to the NFL, going to do another teaser, and this one's going to be a 7-point teaser. One game will be on Thursday, the other game will be on Sunday. So I'm going to give it out early. And starting with the first pick of the 7-point teaser, going to be the Cowboys -3, which we're going to tease down from 10. We're going to put that with the Buccaneers and Panthers total, which we're going to tease up from 40.5 to 47.5. And that two-team teaser pays out a -135 on Bet Online. Time recording of Tuesday, 9 a.m. Couple reasons why I like the Cowboys in the Thursday night game. First reason, Tennessee's really fallen apart, and if you're looking at the offensive numbers, they've been a disaster. Tennessee has lost each of the last 5 games, including a loss at home to the Texans last week, who had one win entering that game. Big reason why Tennessee is starting to fall apart is because of the offense, with Ryan Tannehill being out for the rest of the regular season, and Malik Willis is now the starting quarterback. The issue is he's arguably the worst starting quarterback in the league. Maybe not the worst, because we saw Nick Foles last night, but definitely bottom 3 so far this season. 31 of 61 with 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He can't throw, simply put. And I do think with the Cowboys' secondary concerns, they should be somewhat, I'd say, tolerable for this game, because Willis isn't really a threat to beat defenses with his arm. But Tennessee's pass defense has been terrible all season long. Tennessee's allowing 279.6 passing yards per game, which is the second most in the league. We saw the Cowboys score 40-plus points last week. We saw Dak light it up. CeeDee Lamb was great. Gallup had a touchdown catch. They got a lot of weapons, and I think that Tennessee should struggle to contain all of them throughout this game. But you're looking at the motivation angle for this matchup. It's a rare spot where it's a Week 17 game and one team is tied for first place in the division, yet this game doesn't mean anything for that team, because Tennessee's entire hopes of making the playoffs come down to the Week 18 game against Jacksonville. So this game means nothing for Tennessee. You might see Tennessee rest Derrick Henry or a couple of pieces to keep them healthy for the final game, but this game doesn't mean anything. And as for Dallas, since they beat Philly last week, that means they technically still have a shot to win the division. It's a long shot, but since they do play on Thursday, they definitely should be motivated to try to put the pressure on Philly with potentially Gardner Minshew at quarterback against New Orleans on Sunday. But the Cowboys are going to be motivated for this game, and they're the much better team. It's not even close. I do think that the Cowboys should win this game comfortably on the road. Having said that, didn't exactly want to lay 10 on the road with the team in a short week. So I'm going to tease that down to 3. And for the under in this Panthers-Buccaneers game, pretty self-explanatory. Tampa's been an under machine all season long. They can't score. They're averaging just 17.7 points per game, which ranks 28th in the league. Carolina offensively has been okay, averaging just 20.9 points per game, which ranks 18th in the league. But you're looking at Tampa, and I know we had them in a teaser on the Sunday night game with the Cardinals, but they scored 6 points in the first 52 minutes against one of the worst defenses in the league. They can't move the ball. Brady was very good at leading the comeback. The issue was, once again, for the first 50-plus minutes, he was terrible, and Tampa couldn't do anything offensively. But I do think Carolina's defense is underrated. I know last week their numbers in the end weren't great. However, they were up by a ton against Detroit before they played prevent for about a quarter and a half, which caused those numbers to be a little bit skewed. But Carolina, we know with Darnold, loves to run the ball, and Tampa's been pretty good against the run this season. Not as good as they usually are, but still pretty good. And with this game being so meaningful in the standings, as the winner of this game most likely wins the division, I think you'll see a very, very intense defensive slugfest where neither team gives up much, and you'll see a bit of a rock fight on your hands. These teams faced off earlier this season, and the game landed 24. Tampa didn't score a touchdown, and even though I do think this game will be very close, or it should be until the end, Tampa plays ugly, and I think as a result, teasing this total up to 47.5 should be a pretty safe move, as this game should finish somewhere in either the, I'd say, high 30s or low 40s, maybe even less than that. It remains to be seen, but I do think you'll end up seeing a lower scoring game. So once again, the 2-pick teaser here for the play of the day for Tuesday is going to be on the Cowboys -3 and the Panthers-Buccaneers game under 47.5, and that pays out a -135 on Bet Online. Bye, everyone.